Hey guys, what's up? I'm Morné. Today I'm going to show you how you can easily replace multiple objects with multiple other objects in Unity. We'll go through some typical use cases for both gaming as well as non-gaming scenarios. Let's get into it. So this is an extension I made, and I'll show you in a moment where you can download it for free and how to install it. When I first researched how to do this, I came across a video by Jason, and he linked to this version of his script. Mine basically is based on his version. So if you read here, it says from assets, drag the new prefabs into the prefab list counter. So in my case, I want a rock to be in here. And then I want to replace all these objects. Let's say, for example, you place them temporarily, or you place the wrong object, or just later on you decided you want to replace trees with rocks or whatever. So for now I'm going to use default settings. So if I replace, then it works like that, which basically works the same as Jason's version in default. But I can also undo, and I can tick this, create parent object for new prefabs. And then if you replace, then it sticks all the new objects in its own little folder. And you can rename it and call it whatever you want. You can also randomly scale things if you so wish. And for that, we just tick this and it will randomly scale it 90% to 110%. And let's, for the fun of it, actually rotate it like that as well. And that's what you get. Let me quickly show you how to install it, and then we'll go through a non-gaming scenario. You can download the extension in the link in the description below. Once you've downloaded the extension, you need to stick it into an editor folder in your assets folder. So let's do that quickly. We'll create a new folder, and we'll call it editor. And then we'll just drag the script into it. Then what will happen is Unity will automatically stick it for you in the menu. So you can then get it at Tools, Morné Tools, Replace with multiple prefabs. So in this case, we have a non-gaming scenario. In architectural projects, you'll typically import FBX files that came from AutoCAD, Revit, or 3D Studio Max, or a combination of that. Here I have a couple of parking spaces, and these triangular objects was AutoCAD blocks that was imported. So let's say they represent random spaces where cars will be parked. So if we use the script here, I select my cars, and I have multiple cars here, as you can see. They originally came from 3D Studio Max as well. That's why the rotation looks so strange, but don't worry about that. So just drag that in here, and as you can see, there's 6 of them. You can list it like that. Let's expand that a little bit. And now I go and select all my reference objects. And in this case, I want to use defaults, and you can say replace. And as you can see here, you don't get the expected result. And over here, it actually warns you that you cannot do that. That is because all these reference objects came in from a single FBX, which basically is a prefab on its own in this case. And you can't delete the objects directly from a prefab without unpacking it first. So let's just undo that quickly. And let's untick this. And in this case, I would like the cars all to be in its own group as well. So let's tick that one. And there you can see all the cars are now in the scene. So in this case, obviously don't need the reference objects anymore, so I can just hide that or delete it from the scene. And as you can see, it put all the cars in its own little folder, and we can just rename that to, let's say, parked cars, for example. In architectural projects, you also typically have less creative freedom, and you can't just stick in trees wherever you like. Typically, you'll get a landscape plan from a landscape architect where specific trees need to go. And in this case, this is what these circles represent. That was as well imported from AutoCAD, basically converted to FBX, etc. So let me drag in my tree that I want to use into my prefab. Obviously, again, you can use multiple trees, But for now I'm just going to use the 1. And let's select all our reference objects. And then again, in this case, I want my resulting objects in its own folder. Delete if possible. I'm unticking that because again, this came in from an FBX. I don't feel like unpacking it. If it's trees, obviously you want to randomize the scale. And let's actually rotate it randomly in Y as well, because you don't want all the trees facing the same direction. Let's go. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any suggestions on how to improve it. Please also hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.